Hello. It is true that we are an Enneagram type. It is also true, I'm sure of it, that we are a tri-type. And my hypothesis is that it's also true that we are the whole Enneagram structure. So, of course, we hear the sentence that, of course, we have all Enneagram types in us, but I think they are ordered in our psyche. So I'll just begin with an example and take myself as the case. I use the self structure of John Bennett, which is divided into the material self, the reactional, the divided, and the true self, which go in the depth. Behind the true self there is our I, our spirit, our essence, however you call it. The structure of the holy ideas resides in the I. So it's there as a whole, but when we are incarnated, it is distributed through the layers of the self. So I suggest that the material self is the level which decides upon our subtype. So it's not quite our soul, it's on the verge between body and soul. In the second layer, where we could say the real soul material begins, we are fixated, which is called the reactional self. And there we can observe our main type. But not only this, also the second and the third one, which are known in the theory of the tri-type. So, me, for example, probably you can recognize it, most of you. I am a 5. But if I look at the second one, I regard the importance of the bodily world and of the feelings. And the feelings are much more interesting for me than the outside world. So the second point is in the emotional center. If I regard the 2, 3 and 4, I can see that the 3 is the most active. So this is, for example, a reason why I decided to make the clips. Being a type 5 and additionally a preservation one, it can be very difficult to make such steps. But the type 3 helps me very much, because I try to achieve something and I try to be efficient in the things I do. Okay, so I'm a 5, then a 3, and if I look at the body center, I can see clearly it is 9. Okay. So my tri-type 5, 3, 9. But then if I look further, I can see that the remaining 6 are not equally distributed. Being in the mental center, I have a lighter, quicker approach to a mental point than to the others. So the next tri-type begins with the 7. It is much more interesting for me. I can observe it very good. So it begins with 7. The next point is the 4. I do some music. I know the emotional atmosphere of force. In some stations of my life I lived very much 4, and in the body center it's the 1. So my second tri-type is 7, 4 and 1. Okay, so there are 3 remaining, of course, which I don't have to decide anymore. The 6, not very interesting for me, so far as I'm fixated. The 2 and the 8. So what I would say is that the strongest tendency for living out the impulses lies in the reactional self, which is manifesting most of the time, but it's modulated by the second tri-type, and we can observe the points also very precisely when we are not reacting but conscious, self-remembering. In the situation of self-remembering, we can be free of our reactional tri-type, and we can connect with the second level, with the 3 points, where there is the possibility of either going into the passion or turning towards the virtues. So the divided self gives the possibility for growth. And of course the third level is something which remained in the true self, which we don't actually connect ourselves very much with, because it's in oblivion. That's why we are actually not fixated on this level, because we don't get so much in touch with it. That's why it, in a way, it remained our virtues, but we are in the daily life not connected with it so much. But if we go deeper, for example in the meditation, we can connect ourselves to the last tri-type, which then shows up not as fixations, as passions, but as virtues. Then of course it is also possible to free the other points. Okay, in the next clip I'll explain a little bit about the subtype and the wings in this context. See you later.